don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Stewart, how are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, that's fine.
You're Robert Ramsey.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ramsey, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, officers observed a 2007 gray Toyota Solara traveling at 100 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. Officers caught up to the vehicle and conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed an open bottle of whiskey in the front passenger area. The defendant admitted to having a few swigs of that whiskey. The officer observed slurred speech, confused demeanor. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6. Walk-in turn, a 6 out of 8. 6 out of 6 on the HDN, 6 out of 8 on the walk-in turn, and 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to breath, which came back to a .199 and a .208.
Did you say field sobriety tests were done or no?
Yes,
Okay, I missed it. So
I'm sorry. SFSTs were a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 6 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one leg stand.
Got it. Okay, and you said, are you telling me that he's consuming alcohol while driving? Mr. Ramsey, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now taking away your ability to drive. I am now making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. This is an affidavit that you're going to sign, promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I at least request an interlock device rather than a no driving affidavit? That would
He's going
guarantee-
100 and he's allegedly taking swigs. What? No driving. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
May I at least make the argument?
Sure.
Sure. So he does have to drive to get to work. I understand the accusations against him. I also believe that there's some falsehoods in the accusations against him, Your Honor. We don't have any videos. We don't have any evidence yet on the case other than just the DIMS report here. So, like I said, in reference to the alcohol being, guaranteeing the safety of the community, I would ask that the interlock be installed rather than it being a no driving affidavit. As far as the driving quickly, I'm sure that, he won't drive that quickly anymore, and he will swear that he will not speed or do anything else. We can say if he gets a ticket or something like that for speeding, Your Honor, that then we'd, accede to or agree to the no driving affidavit, Your Honor. But I do think the interlock device would fully guarantee the safety of the public in terms of him not being able to drive and then operate the vehicle.
Ready to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. I'm taking away your privilege to drive for the moment. I don't care. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not absolute. But I want you to understand that this is a privilege. It's not a right. You want a right? Take your happy feet and walk from one place to the other. That's a right. This is a privilege. And if you look on the news, every single day, someone dies in our county from an intoxication, assault, crash, whatever it may be. No. Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. But it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Stewart. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, ducking, dodging phone calls, you pick up a new case, you know what happens.
Yes, sir.
For now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear touch it, you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria, sign a reset. You will get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. All right. It's not absolute. After some time, show me some proactivity and then we can talk.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Judge, next is page 8, Lemus, Spanish speaker. Lemus, come on up. Eric?
You are Eric Lemus.
Lemus. Eric Lemus.
Mr. Lemus, you're charged with reckless driving. You
Por
are facing up to 30 days in jail
hasta 30 días.
and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th,
El 15 de marzo
2025,
del 2025,
officers were working a
oficiales estaban
street
trabajando
racing takeover
en
operation
una operación
at
de la calle
909
de la
Shepherd Drive
909
in
Shepherd
Harris
Drive en
County,
Condado
Texas.
Harris, Texas.
The officer
Los
observed a
oficiales
vehicle
observaron
fail
un
to signal a lane
vehículo que no
change and run a red light while
hizo la-
oncoming traffic was present.
si venía tráfico. I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes. The officer
Los
observed the
oficiales observaron
vehicle
un
failed to
vehículo que
signal a
no
lane
puso su
change
señal para cambiar
and
el
run a
carril
red
y se
light
pasó una luz roja
with oncoming
con
traffic.
tráfico que venía en su contra.
The vehicle then
El vehículo
continued
entonces
to weave
continuó
between lanes
a pasar entre los carriles
at speeds
pasar de un
exceeding
carril a otro
60 miles per hour.
a la velocidad de hasta
In a
60
35 miles per hour
hora
zone.
en una zona de 35 millas por hora.
The passenger was
El pasajero
seen
se
hanging
vio
out of the window
por la ventana, la ventanilla,
while the vehicle was in
mientras el
motion.
vehículo estaba en marcha.
A traffic stop was
Se hizo
initiated.
un alto.
The defendant denied
El
his actions and the
el
officer
acusado negó sus acciones al
the officer
oficial. El
informed him
oficial
that
le
they would be on
informó
camera.
que estaban en cámara.
Officer informed what?
The
El oficial
defendant that they
observó
would be on camera,
que el
the dash
acusado
cam.
estaba
Okay, so
Grabado en
just pulls him
cámara.
out. Does he ask for a license, insurance, anything like that? Just pulls him out and arrests him?
At that point, they did,
en ese
I believe they
momento.
arrested him for
Creo que lo
reckless driving.
arrestaron por manejo imprudente.
Yes, you. Mr. Lemus, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run him to see if he has a Texas driver's license, please?
He does not have a
Pregunta si tiene licencia de manejar. No, no tiene
Mr.
licencia.
Lemus,
Señor Limas,
if you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, then you are
seguro,
not allowed to drive.
no permite manejar.
That is a condition of your bond.
Son
If I
estudiantes.
find that you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with.
Él bajo custodia hasta
And then
que
you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
él lo entiende. Tiene cosas tan-
Yes or no?
Sí o no? Yes.
How old are you, sir?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
17.
17.
Okay. I will provide you a lawyer today. So what we'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me for a court-appointed lawyer.
Para una
I'm going to have you sign your reset with Victoria. I will have you take a seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
arresto.
Okay, please, Deputy Rand, if you don't mind.
All right.
So
Judge
can you
Counsel,
file no driving?
motion For
Please.
page 11,
Abigail,
Payne,
you
come
file
on
no
up.
driving
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
then without a license in it.
Vicente. Oh.
Hi, Herman.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Amen.
Mr. Payne, if you want to read along when the prosecutor does, you can read right there. Vicente Payne, Your Honor. Page 11 per Victoria.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Payne. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th at approximately 11:22 p.m., the officers were dispatched to a 911 call regarding a three-way motor vehicle crash at the intersection of Spencer Highway and 11th Street in Harris County, Texas. The defendant motor vehicle was identified by his Texas license plate. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed slurred speech, red glassy eyes, a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, and poor balance. During the investigation, it was apparent that the defendant's motor vehicle failed to yield the right of way for left turn, causing the defendant's vehicle to strike Unit 2, causing Unit 2 to strike Unit 3. All parties involved advised at the time of this collision the defendant was operating his motor vehicle. The defendant advised that he consumed 3 tall boy Michelob Ultras at a residence prior to operating the motor vehicle. One open container was found cold to the touch and was located on the right outside of the defendant's motor vehicle's driver's side door, and that the defendant was advised that was his 4th beer. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 7 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant was placed into custody and was transported to the police station. The DIC was read and sentenced to breath, which the results were a .234 and a .230.
Are you telling me that he had alcohol in the car and he's
Yes, Your
drinking while he's driving as well?
I cannot tell you whether he was drinking while he was driving, but alcohol was found in the vehicle.
Where was it?
It was found in the vehicle, on the driver's side door.
Mr. Payne, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You could be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, may I request, I understand why the court is concerned about this case. Can we just limit it so he can just drive for the certain hours of the day so he can support himself to do the necessary things in his home with the interlock device and or scram device as well? I mean, it's hard, as you know, in Houston, Texas, it's hard for someone to be able to live where we have without any public transportation or anything to get around. If we can just limit his driving just to the specific hours that the court allows.
How old are you, sir?
21.
He's 21. He has beer in the car and he's a .26.
2-3, I thought, but I mean, I'm not to quibble, but yes.
No, you are not
Because the
to
bond conditions just
drive.
seem a bit egregious considering it's first off.
I understand, Herman, and I would recognize, or I would understand that it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. And there's a 3-car collision. He's a .23 with alcohol in the car. No, I don't want you driving. And I'm telling you now, if I find that you do, there's going to be HE double hockey sticks to pay. Do you understand? You're also not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will be spending quite some time with me.
Will you reconsider the order or the condition, Judge?
I will always do. Yes. I want some time to pass and I want to see some proactivity, Herman, and I'm always all ears. But for the moment, I don't want him anywhere near a car.
Is his appearance waived as long as he's maintaining his conditions, Judge?
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court. But Mr. Payne, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my city at all costs. If that means putting you in custody, I don't care. If you have Jesus here arguing on your behalf, I will protect my city at all costs. Do you understand?
So,
All right, I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm going to get you to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, then you're free to go. Thanks, sir.
All right, Judge, next is page 1. Bodon, Douglas.
Is it Bodon? Good morning, Mr. Bodon. So you're charged with failure to stop and give information after striking a highway fixture. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, at approximately 11 a.m., officers were dispatched to the 10,400 block of North Tree Hollow Circle in LaPorte, Texas, in Harris County, in reference to a minor accident where a vehicle struck a light pole. The officer was advised by dispatch that a witness observed the suspect leaving the scene and were provided a description of the vehicle. The officer began to check the area and observed that a vehicle that matched the description with wiring hanging out of the front of the vehicle and front end damage. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed several car parts, including a front bumper in plain view. The defendant stated that he struck the light pole and left the scene because nobody else was involved. Centerpoint, the light pole company, stated that the cost to repair would be approximately $3,000.
Mr. Bodon, I'm going to go find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license to see if he has a valid license, please?
Yes, sure.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? Good. These are your bond conditions. If I find that you violate these conditions, if you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you time to hire a lawyer. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be on your way. All right? Do not pick up any new cases. All right? Do you mind filing those no driving without